On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Ethan goes trick-or-treating and Tony shoots some hoops. We talk about some of the biggest news of the week and anything else that we think might be interesting. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, we've got Ethan.
I'm here. Let's do this.
What's going on, sir?
Nothing. Recording a podcast.
A little bit late.
Yeah.
A little bit later than usual. We had some technical difficulties last night where my internet decided it just didn't want to work.
Yeah, it's like we're ready to start, and then Tony's just gone.
Yeah, right about the time I was getting ready to say, on this episode of the whatever, the internet just died. And we couldn't record, so...
Yeah, the funny thing is, when your internet came back, I was still online.
Were you?
Yeah.
Did you see me just like pop back on a bunch of different things?
No, you said what time you got your internet came back on. I know I was awake and online at that time.
Yeah. What was weird though was that it was only half of my internet. My 2.4 gigahertz band just dropped for like 4 hours last night for no reason that I know of. Anything that was connected to my 5 gigahertz band, like the Switch, my kid's Fire Stick, whatever, all of that stuff still worked. I have no idea what happened.
It's a little weird. Cole was having the same issue where he got connected to his 2.4, and we had communication issues all over Destiny for that.
Really?
Yeah, he finally switched over to the main one because he didn't connect to that 2.4 to begin with.
Yeah. I just think it's Cox's sneaky way of trying to get me to spend more money to get faster internet, and it's not going to work.
I think he's got the same provider.
So, but
it's
we got
a conspiracy, man.
I think it is, absolutely. We got those issues taken care of, though. The internet came on shortly after midnight. I was well into bed at that point, I think. And we're back. So we will be recording a day late. The podcast is a day later than usual. Hopefully people don't mind too much.
Sorry if y'all do.
So, it couldn't be helped. So,
I mean,
Ethan,
I could have done a show by myself.
I mean, you could have.
But
it would have been the Destiny show.
Yeah, I basically would have just started playing Destiny while in a fire team, talking to them happily. And
So, is that what you've been playing this week?
that is basically what I played this week.
The Halloween stuff has started, right?
Yeah, that Festival of the Lost is in full effect. The Infinite Forest from the Osiris thing, what we're doing on what that is, it's like a sub simulation routine or something. I don't know what to call it, but that thing is. I have not gotten past 7 floors. We'll go with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard 16 was reached on Friday, floor 16 by someone, so that's cool.
How deep does it go?
It should be infinite by technical standards, because I don't think they actually said how deep it'll go on there, because it's just you do a section until you get 100% kills, which is every kill is on whatever you're fighting at the time is 2%.
Okay.
Then it warps you over to a boss fight, beat the boss, and then you get warped back in, and then you have like various debuffs on you, such as glass, meaning you have half the health or half shields, but they regenerate quicker for recovery.
Yeah.
Blind, they'll take away your radar, just little things like that. And after you get so far, they start doubling up on what you're getting, so you'll have no radar and half the shield.
Mm-hmm. And is this just where every floor you go down, it just gets harder and harder until eventually it's so hard you just can't win?
It's actually a timed event. You're in there for 15 minutes, and that's 15 minutes from activating the start of the floor. So, start of the floor, and you're going through, kill the boss. As soon as that boss is dead, your timer's stopped until you start the next floor.
Okay.
And once that runs out, you get a respawning restricted warning So if everyone dies, it's going to end it and put you at the end. Otherwise, it's get to the boss, defeat the boss, and then you're at the end.
Yeah. Is this something you have to have plus to play?
I believe so
Okay.
because it's
Darn.
considered a strike as far as I could tell.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if I'd be able to join in at some point.
I don't know. Light level requirement, the bare minimum is 200 on it, I believe. So you're not completely locked out if for people who casually played but haven't gone full on light level building and all that.
Yeah. Okay.
I still haven't gotten that little cat ghost shell yet. I'm sad.
Is that your goal before
That's
the end of the event?
that's my goal.
Okay. How
Uh,
different is it from last year's event?
uh, Destiny 2 didn't do one last year. Destiny 1 was just a rehash of get candy, do whatever,
Ah,
wear mask. I guess I don't know. They might not even did it. I really don't remember.
no
They,
candy this time though.
there's no candy for kills. It's put on your mask. The mask actually have buffs now that you can level up and stuff. That's handy.
Yeah.
Um, there's fragmented souls for doing these daily bounties that you get from doing the forest. The challenges are always in the forest, so it's like wear a mask, get so many kills with an auto or a grenade launcher or something, and then it'll also say do a strike while wearing a mask as well, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
And completing those gets you so many points, and you have a weekly bounty, and that'll give you like 40 fragmented souls. So you get so many of those, and then you can turn those in for more mask and or a thing called the horror story or horror story. I don't know if there's a V in there, which is an auto rifle and it's max light level. So get 100, 120 of those, buy that, and you're looking at a good increase in light.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. It sounds like it's an interesting event.
It's it is interesting. It seems it has its pros and cons compared to the previous Destiny Festival of the Lost stuff, but I like it. It's not as in depth where it's like go talk to everyone at the tower, get candy from defeating monsters, then you get these little special candies that give you buffs and towards this and that. But I
Mm.
mean, it's still it's not as childish seeming. We'll go with that.
Well, that's good.
And
Interesting.
maybe they'll have something more in depth next year. I don't know.
I hope so. I like when games do these special events like this, and make a big deal out of it. It makes it more interesting, I think, for players, especially if you haven't been around for a while. Like if Zelda had been doing something interesting for Halloween, I'd probably jump back into Breath of the Wild for a while, or a special cart or something for Mario Kart, something like that. I think those kinds of things would be really
Or even
cool.
the levels just having a reflection of the holidays.
Yeah,
Just it's like okay, now all the levels are dark and spooky. If you want that on there, that'd be a cool little addition.
yeah, it'd be neat.
I think it was Sonic Adventure, the first one on Dreamcast. You could go and download specific holiday related
Mhm.
things on that. So you could have Halloween, Christmas, and I think they had launch party DLC as well for various countries. You could
Yeah.
grab for like the European launch date and such.
I like it when games do that, but then on the other hand, I also sort of don't like it because they always put things that are exclusive to that particular period of time, and so it can be frustrating if you like to have everything and can't get on whenever those games and that event is going on, and you can't get the exclusive stuff.
That's very true. MMOs are horribly bad about doing that. But
Animal Crossing is as well.
that's also part of the draw of getting people in at that time.
Exactly. If you do those special things, it gets people interested in that, and you can potentially raise your player base for a little bit, and some of those players might stick around for a little while.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like Final Fantasy 14 was doing the Monster Hunter crossover,
Hmm.
while in Monster Hunter did the Final Fantasy crossover, which I got my stuff on there, so I was happy on that side. But on the Final Fantasy 14 side, I was rushing through there to get to all that, and then I just found out no, this one's just permanent. So after I found that out, I just kind of cut back on that game.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have a real incentive to play during that particular period of time because you can just
the
be like,
The
I'll do it
urgency of
whenever.
my goal was cut to infinity.
And that makes it not so urgent.
Yeah, really. I'm still mad about my free company disbanding while I wasn't playing. Oh well. Anyway, that yeah, Destiny 2 Festival Lost. It's happening till I think November 11th. There's going to be a few more quests added here and there, and I think October 31st are adding a special mission to solve who murdered a certain Destiny character from the first game.
Destiny Clue?
It's yeah, with more guns
Oh,
and
well.
stuff. So
It's always going to be someone did it with a gun then.
true. Well, there's grenades and melee attacks and
I guess that's
swords.
true. That's true.
What about you, Tony?
Oh, let's see. What have I been playing? A lot of NBA 2K Playgrounds 2 this week. That came out not that long ago. I enjoyed the first one and had some issues with it early on, obviously because the game didn't work. So, but it was months before they finally got everything working on the Switch the way it was with the other games and the online play and all of that stuff. Once they got all that ironed out, the game was fun. I really enjoyed it. Uh, so I was interested in seeing how they were going to improve it the second time around. The game was originally supposed to have come out back in May, I think, of this year, but not long before the game was supposed to come out, they announced that 2K had picked up publishing rights for the game, and it got delayed until just a few weeks ago.
Game just has like some weird release date curse on it.
Apparently, but the one big thing about, and I'll get this out of the way because it's the sort of black mark on the whole thing. Once 2K got their hands involved, you knew it was going to involve microtransactions. And this time around, the game has microtransactions. So you get, I think the game is $20, and then you can get card packs for players and customizable things for your players. So you can get different outfits, hats, shoes, things like that. In-game currency, there's of course in-game currency and gold coins that you use real money to buy. The in-game currency will get you bronze player packs, silver player packs, and gold player packs. Um, all of that stuff you get by completing different objectives and missions for your players. So every player has a set of missions that they can do, like hitting a certain amount of 3-pointers, getting a certain amount of rebounds, scoring a certain amount of points in games, and things like that. And every time you achieve one of those missions, and just through regular play, you earn the basketball currency, which is the in-game currency, and you can use that to buy the the different levels of packs. I think it's 1,500 basketball coins for bronze packs. I think 3,000 for silver and 5,000 for gold.
Basketball coins.
Yeah, they literally it's just a basketball. So I mean, I could just call it. You earn 1,500 basketballs, and you can get it's the same thing, but they look like coins. So that's why I call them basketball coins. Um, and every probably I don't know 3 or 4 games, you earn enough to get a bronze pack. I mean, it takes a while to build up that currency, and people are a little annoyed by that because it adds a lot of grinding to the game that you didn't really have to do last time around. It just by winning tournaments, you were getting a lot of players and a lot of high level players previously, whereas now you have to put quite a bit of work into getting those higher level players. Or you can use real money, buy the gold, and you can use that to get like ultra rare players, the really really high level players. You can get those faster than you normally would be able to, otherwise grinding out to get the coins and things. And then all of your customizable things for your players, like your outfits and stuff, can only be gotten with the gold coin. So you have to spend. Well, that's not entirely true, because each of your bronze, silver, and gold packs will also give you some of the gold coins, but it's a very small amount. And it's like 3,000 and 5,000 gold coins for these packs to get the customizable outfits or the really uh, high level players.
Yeah.
And the bronze packs give you like 25 gold coins, and then I think it's 50 for silver and maybe 100 for the gold. So it takes a really long time to get that stuff unless you spend real money to get the gold coins. So that's really the biggest drawback to the game. The game itself, the actual on the court play, is considerably better than it was last year. There's a lot more power ups that your players can get. The animations are smoother. The game itself just runs better and feels better. Uh, so you also have different types of play. You've got online play where you can play, quick games, and you have exhibition matches. You have tournaments, but you have to be a Nintendo Online subscriber to play in those tournaments. So I haven't been able to check those out just yet. And then you have a regular season this time around instead of just these sort of traveling tournaments that you did previously. And there were not very many of those in that game. In this, you can play what they call a regular NBA season, which is 15 games and then the playoffs.
Okay.
Um, and playing through those regular season games, going deeper into the playoffs gives you more of the basketball coins that you can earn other players. And you by going deep into the playoffs, you can actually speed up how quickly you get the things to unlock better players and make it easier to get through the regular season. So the game is way better, I think, than it was previously. If you liked last year's game, I think you'll like, in spite of the microtransactions and the grinding that they've put into the game, that I think is a little unnecessary. I think it is a far better game than it was previously. So if you're curious about that and you're wanting that NBA Jam style game, this is a really good sort of alternative or successor to that. I think there's still room for improvement, but it is a fun game. It's more fun than it was last year, and I look forward to seeing what they can do this time next year and make the game even better.
Adding more microtransactions.
I
Yeah.
really hope not. So, and one thing you can do, it's kind of a cheap way to unlock some players quickly. If you play a regular season game and you don't have any players for that team unlocked, it'll give you 2 of them for free. So you can just go through, start a season with every team and get at least 2 players on that team for free, essentially. And sort of build your roster a little bit quicker.
Neat.
So, but I'm having a lot of fun with the game. I had a lot of fun with last year's game once they got all of the bugs ironed out. I think there is one big bug that's going around. I haven't really noticed it too much, but with some of the legendary players, If they hit an absolutely perfect shot, they miss it 100% of the time.
What?
So I mean, it's characters like Michael Jordan with his his famous dunk from the free throw line. If he hits that perfectly, he misses it. Even the computer players, if on that shot meter they hit it exactly 100% perfect, they'll miss every time.
That's that's a bug.
So yeah, and 2K and Saber Interactive are aware of it. They're working to fix it. If you hit it with like 99% accuracy, you'll make the shot. If you hit it with 100%, they miss it every single time. So that's a pretty big bug that people are a little worried about, but I think that'll probably get patched out pretty quickly.
You'd think something like that would have been found in QA right away.
You'd think, but apparently not. So, but that is what I have been playing. Been enjoying that game quite a bit. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk about the news. All right, Ethan. According to the show notes, Games Done Quick starts this weekend.
Games Done Quick Express is starting on Friday. This is a kind of a mini Games Done Quick. This is for
So this is going to be nothing but mini games.
no, like
No.
mini Games Done Quick. Oh man, what was that like? WarioWare on?
It's all Mario Party all the
Gosh.
time.
Oh man. No, this one is since Twitch is a big supporter for Games Done Quick, they're doing this one to help with supporting charities participating in TwitchCon for the charity plaza that they're having.
Okay.
And so, uh, Games Done Quick Express, since it's going to be there, they're starting this Friday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's going to end around sometime after 8 Sunday night, I
Yeah.
guess.
So it's a little over 48 hours of GDQ, basically.
Yes, and uh, this one is all on. This one will be streamed definitely, so you can watch it on the Games Done Quick Twitch page or on their main website as well, gamesdonequick.com.
Okay. Do they have a
Uh,
schedule out for this?
yes, they do. And it's kind of a packed schedule considering how short the event is.
Well, if you're playing games quickly, you can get a few more things in.
Very true. I do know their opening is Sonic Mania. There's going to be some Super Monkey Ball, Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I'm just going through the list right now.
Yeah.
uh, there is Mega Man 9 versus Mega Man 10. I'm not sure what that one is at the moment because there's only one person's name on the running for that, unless they're running both at the same time.
Are they are they playing both games? That seems really hard to do.
I don't think that's what they're doing, but I don't know. Uh, let's see. We'll have like Super Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D, and I said that really quick, so I hope you understood what I said. Uh, Super Adventure Island, Shantae,
There's
Titanfall
some
2, Sonic Advance, Mega Man, a bunch of Mega Man games.
yeah. There's some good games it sounds like on the schedule.
Oh, the Super Metroid slash A Link to the Past combo randomizer is going to be ran.
That should be
And that's
interesting.
going to be a, I don't know if that's a race or, but it's got, it just says Andy and Oats and Goats are running that.
Yeah.
And Oats and Goats, he's one of the big Super Metroid runners. TaskBot's going to be there to play Hyper Princess Peach, Pokemon Yellow, and Kaizo Mario World 3, and some game by uh, Pangea Panga. I
Okay.
don't know what it is.
It's a
But
good lineup.
yeah, there's a lot going on. There's even a Diablo 2 run and Dark Souls 3.
Nice. So that starts at 1 o'clock
Central
Central
Standard
Time on Friday.
Friday, 1 p.m. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. I will definitely have to check out some of that stuff. There's some interesting sounding games. That Mega Man 910 thing, I definitely have to see what that is.
That is on day one. I wish I hadn't just closed the window by mistake, switching back to it. But yeah, it's day one, so look forward
Okay,
to that.
definitely. Have you picked up a copy of Starlink yet?
I still don't know what this game is.
It looks like a space shooter. From what I can tell, if you buy it on Switch, it's a Star Fox game, more or less.
So that's
Uh,
what that was. Okay.
yeah, this is on my list of games that I have to play because it looks really good. And I found out this week that you don't necessarily have to have the toys that come with it. You It makes the game more fun or easier or whatever,
That's
but you
what they
don't
want you to
have to
believe,
have
Tony.
those.
That's how they sell it to you.
So, but yeah, this is definitely on my list of games to play. Apparently, though, uh, not everybody got the game when they bought it.
What?
Ubisoft says we've been made aware that a small amount of Starlink Battle for Atlas starter packs have shipped without a copy of the disc and/or cartridge included. We're currently investigating the scope of the issue and potential solutions. In the meantime, if anyone's been affected by this issue, please tell them contact Ubisoft customer service at support.ubi.com and they'll provide assistance.
So
So,
the company that ships out the game forgot to put the game in
forgot to
there.
put the game in it. Yeah.
So, like, do they have a bunch of extra copies sitting back there? Like, how did these get? Why do we have so much extra stock? Or
That may be the case. I don't know. But yeah, apparently a few people have gotten the game and didn't get the game.
man,
So I'm hoping one of the solutions may be, if you call us and you're like, hey, I didn't get my game, they'll give you a download code while they ship you a physical copy. But
I doubt they would do that.
I don't know. I haven't heard from anybody that's been affected by it, so I don't know what their solution's been. If anybody out there listening has been affected by this, let us know what they're doing because I'm really interested to see. Um, and if they give you any more explanation as to what happened. But
Hmm.
yeah, apparently some people bought the game and didn't get the actual game in the package.
Uh,
So,
yeah, I really want to know how it happened, but I'm sure we'll never find out.
probably not. We'll never hear officially what happened. But yeah, so there you go. Starlink copies shipping without the game. At least, well, I was gonna say at least they're not missing the ships. But I think not having the game is more important than not having the ships.
What if you had like the PS4 copy and somehow you have Star Fox in there?
That would be interesting. I wonder if that stuff is on the disc or if they actually have different versions of it that they're shipping out to people.
I imagine there would be different versions, but I would love for someone to just data mine it and look and see
Oh, someone's going to.
if they haven't already,
They'll have video out of Star Fox on the PS4 version of the game.
or if they're able to data mine where it's supposed to be in there from the Switch version and insert it. Ooh, ooh. Anyway,
So yeah, there you go. Like I said, if you've been affected by this, let us know because we're really interested in hearing what has happened with this game. A couple other things. There's a Kickstarter that starts this week. I have not seen any of the details about what kind of funding they're looking for or anything like that. I will put up a link to the Kickstarter on Facebook and Twitter when it does go live. But there's a game that's coming out, or the Kickstarter project starts this week that I think looks really interesting. It's from a developer called Aloft Studios, and the game is called Hazelnut Bastille. Um,
Hazelnut. Not wouldn't be my first choice of a game name.
no, but the game is essentially not essentially a Zelda clone. It is heavily inspired by Zelda. Um, If you look at the video, you can see if you're on the YouTube version of the show, it looks a lot like Minish Cap to me.
It,
In
it,
the
it looked more Super Nintendo like to me, but yeah, Minish Cap inspirations there.
I can see definitely some Super Nintendo inspirations there as well, but a lot of the pixel art looks Game Boy Advance style to me more than Super Nintendo. Um, but the game looks really interesting. The bosses look really big. It looks like there's some really interesting puzzles. Uh, I'm very interested in seeing in this. I've actually reached out to the developers to see if we can get them on the show and talk a little bit about the game um, while the Kickstarter is going on. So I'll let you know if we can make that happen before long. But I think the game looks really interesting. You had a chance to check out the trailer, didn't you, Ethan?
Yeah, it was a pretty good 2.5 minutes long, and it was entertaining.
Yeah. So definitely interested in that. And the developers have said that one of the backer levels for the game will give you a physical copy, and Switch is one of the options, which is nice.
Yeah,
Like I said, I haven't seen all of the details of the game, so I don't know all of the platforms it's coming to. If it's coming to Switch, I imagine PC is going to be an option, and possibly PS4 and Xbox One. Um, I'll put up a story on the site about the Kickstarter once it launches, so people can get some of that information. And again, links to the Kickstarters on Facebook and social media. But I think this looks really cool. Uh,
should
so
be good.
I think so. And then lastly, Nintendo and Blizzard have announced a Diablo 3 bundle for the Switch.
Oh,
It will come out, it'll launch on November 2nd, and the bundle gives you a Diablo 3 uh, themed dock for the Switch, as well as a Diablo 3 themed carrying case for the Switch, which looks really nice. It's black with sort of red um, trim around the outside. The zipper area is all red. It looks really nice, and it's got the Diablo logo on the side.
cool.
The game will come with a digital copy of the game, a download code for Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, which includes the base game and all of the DLC that was available for it. And the retail price for that will be $359.99.
Jeez.
So, which I believe is just the cost of the Switch and the game.
Can I just get the carrying case by itself?
I don't think so.
Dang it.
I think you have to buy the bundle to get the carrying case. So, but someone will probably have it on eBay very shortly after it launches. So you could probably get it that way.
Okay.
So, looks really nice. If you're interested in Diablo 3, check that out. But that is it for the news this week. There was not a lot happening news wise, but we do have one bit of listener feedback this week, Ethan, and that comes from Cole via Facebook, who wants to know what is the coolest out of game loot that you have seen or purchased?
Ooh. You know, Japan's got a lot of cool stuff I've seen over the years.
That they
I
do.
can't even account for all I've seen, or can even think of one right now.
Yakuza shot glasses. Those are pretty cool. No, I don't buy a lot of
I think there were whiskey cups, weren't there, or glasses?
something. I don't remember exactly.
They're like on the shelf or somewhere in my room. I don't know.
So I
I
don't
have
buy a
them.
ton of video game related stuff. Like the coolest stuff I really have is the set of the Dark Horse Zelda books, which I absolutely love. Those are fantastic books.
Hmm.
Um, but I personally don't have a lot of stuff. I don't buy a lot of that stuff like other people do. But what about you? What's the coolest thing that you've bought that's video game related?
Oh man, that. Well, I'm looking at like my stash of video game merch right now, and three things really stand out to me on there.
Okay.
We have the Master Chief helmet from
Yeah.
Halo
Was it Halo 3?
3. Yeah, I think it was 3. And next to that, we have Sonic the Hedgehog standing on a Sega Genesis
Nice.
from Sonic Mania. And then right behind that is probably the thing that I like the most, but don't mess with because I don't want to wear it out. The Metal Gear Rising sword in the plasma can, the plasma glass jar thing.
Nice.
So I don't know. I've looked on Amazon. That sword, the actual sword, is only down to $30, so I might actually purchase that at some point.
So, well, there you go. That's really going to be it for the show this week. Thank you, Ethan, for being on here. I know it was a short show, but we had some technical difficulties. Not a lot of stuff going on in the world of video games this week, so we wanted to make sure you guys got something, but we didn't want to leave you high and dry without a show this week. But we'll be back. I think Shannon will be back next week, so we'll be back to full strength on the show, and we'll give you guys that full show you expect. But thank you, Ethan, for being on the show this week.
Thank you for showing up to do the show.
There you go. If you want to reach out to us, we have tons of new ways to do so. You can email us at podcast@procgent.com. That's PROCGENT.com. You can send us a voicemail if you want by clicking on the voicemail link on the right side of the website. You can send us voicemails up to 90 seconds in length, and we'll play those on future episodes of the show and respond to the questions that you have. If you like what we do here, you can now support us on Patreon, patreon.com/pgint. Patreon supporters will get a video version of the podcast a day early. These will normally go out on Tuesdays. Patreon supporters will get them on Monday. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/progenint. Check out our YouTube channel that we've got and see the content we've got going on up there. And then we still do have the Facebook group where you can interact with us on a daily basis as well.